Good afternoon. Today is ECI Regional Planning District full board meeting, first quarter 2025, and it's Tuesday, February 11th at 3 o'clock. My name is Randy Dunnick. I'm ECI board president this year and presenter. I'd like to represent the town of Albany, town council. And I'd like to go around the room and have everybody introduce themselves, where they're from, and kind of get to know you guys. Start with you, Michelle.
I am Michelle Batters. I'm with ECI Regional Planning District. I am the executive assistant to Bill Walters.
I'm Shannon Henry, Delaware County Commissioner.
Bill Walters, ECI Regional Director.
Danielle Struble, Legal Counsel. Kylene Swackhammer, Delaware Muncie Metropolitan Plan Commission. Pamela Robbins, City of Dunkirk.
Pete Peterson, Vice President, RQAW. Josh Goodman, also with RQAW. For those of you that don't know, we're an architecture and engineering firm.
Jeff Robinson, Schaefer Leadership Academy.
Jerome Stenhouse, ECI, and I'm a graduate assistant with Ball State.
Spencer Rutherford, I'm with the Town of Yorktown.
Katie Mayday, I am with CHA Consulting.
Tracy Letton with Muncie Delaware County Economic Development Alliance.
My name is Matthew Nichols. I'm the project manager for the SS4A grant.
Get the guys in the back now.
You guys are back?
No,
Don't be
no.
shy.
Nate Kimball, ECI, Regional Planning District.
Shirley Sealy, Assistant, ECI Regional Planning District.
Autumn Marshall, ECI Regional Planning District.
And Keating, Marketing Team, or Regional Planning District.
Thank you for being here. Thanks for everybody being here. So moving right along.
We have a quorum, sir.
Okay, thank you. First thing, approval of the meeting minutes of November 12th. There should be a copy in your packets. If there's no changes or corrections, I'd ask for a motion to pass those minutes.
Motion to approve as presented.
Got a motion by Shannon Henry to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Kylene? Okay, motion is second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you.
You need this, Michelle?
Okay, treasurer's report.
With the treasurer out, I'll do that for you, Mr. President. If you
Thank
see, you got in your packet, you've got the statement of activity and the financial position. Statement of activity over the year of 2024. You see our gross revenue at $605,735.68. Payroll at $227,852. Laid out expenses through each of the categories. Bottom line on that, we were total expenses of $744,742.41. That give us a net operating revenue of negative $139,006. As I explained in the executive meeting, we do reimbursable grants. All of ours right now, if you see by the sheet when we get into it, 6 of those we spend up front and then get reimbursed. We got close to $100,000 being ready to be reimbursed and come back to us. It's just in middle stages, and there was a slowdown at the federal level due to not that little pause did cause when all of the employees were let loose last year, and it all funneled down to just a few. It kind of held everything up. So we'll see a flux of, hopefully by the May meeting, you'll see that the balances come up and we should come more back in line. On the statement of financial position, where we currently sit as of right now, you'll see on the top line, assets, we're at $137,655.66. Correction of all liabilities outstanding. Pass through on the RDA, minus and subtracted out, we are at $137,665.66. There's no questions. I would ask for a motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Got a motion by Shannon Henry. I need a second.
I'll second.
Thank you.
You board member going, here we go.
Yeah.
You gotta get in here sooner or later.
Second by Spencer. Thank you. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Do you have anything there that you want to report, Mr. President?
No, not at this time.
Okay.
Kind of new.
All right, I will help start it off. Today we have Schaefer Leadership Academy, Jeff Robinson. They're one of them in the facility here. I won't get too deep into it. Jeff, I know, has been with them for a few years now. They do a lot of leadership training in here. They use this building the same as we do. They've been one of our affiliate members and a partner. He has some good information. He works with state, works with a lot of business employers. So please, Jeff, the floor is yours.
Yep, thank you very much, Bill, and I appreciate the invitation. Appreciate all you giving me a little bit of your time today. As Bill said, my name is Jeff Robinson. I'm the Development Director with Schaefer Leadership Academy. We're a nonprofit organization based here in Muncie. In fact, based about 50 feet that way. So didn't have to travel too far to be here with you today. Our goal as Schaefer Leadership Academy is pretty simple. We want to help people become better leaders. Leadership, as we all know, is very important. Now, most of the time when people hear leadership, usually they're thinking CEOs, they're thinking elected officials, the boss, so to speak, at work. But the truth is, leadership isn't just about titles, right? It's really about influence, about how you interact with people, how you make decisions, and how you shape the community around you. That's what leadership is really about. And that means that leadership is truly for everyone. It's not just for the boss, right? It works whether you run a business, whether you work for a city, a county, a town. It doesn't matter where you work. Leadership development can benefit you not only at work, but at home as well. The stronger our leaders, the stronger our businesses, the stronger our workplaces, the stronger our communities. So leadership development, important at every single level. So today, I want to take this opportunity to really talk about why leadership development is directly tied to economic growth. And more importantly, how we can all work together to bring more leadership training to each of your respective communities. If you're not familiar, I know there's some Muncie folks in here, and I know a few of you. You probably know who we are at Schaefer Leadership Academy, so I apologize for being a little monotonous, but it is important for those of you who don't know us to know a little bit about what we do and how we do it. Schaefer Leadership Academy, we offer practical, engaging leadership training that's designed to actually make a difference, right? There's a lot of leadership training out there. Ours is actually designed to make a difference. We do that in a number of ways. Every month we provide several programs, 90-minute programs for that quick and meaningful impact. We also do half day, full day, multiple days. We do weeks-long leadership courses for that deeper skill development as well. And we offer both in-person and virtual options. We all know virtual options have become a thing. We see multiple people here today on Zoom. We have the capabilities to be able to provide leadership development virtually as well. But with us, it's not just about sitting in a room. And I'll tell you right now, I am not a facilitator for Schaefer Leadership Academy. I'm the development director. So our programs are much more engaging than I am here. So we take great pride in our programs being highly engaging. It's a facilitated conversation with our programs. And really, it's focusing on real life skills, communicating so that people actually listen, handling a conflict in a way that makes things better, not worse, making smart strategic decisions. These are all things that we work on, building strong, effective teams. The list really goes on and on and on of our capabilities to provide that leadership training. And we don't just work with individuals. Primarily, we're working with businesses, nonprofits, higher education institutions, working with a number of local governments, counties, cities, towns throughout the state, but especially throughout the region. Because when leadership improves, obviously we all know workplaces get better, right? They get better, teams become stronger, and ultimately communities thrive. Let's talk about what I mentioned earlier, why leadership development is vital when it comes to economic growth. When we talk about growing and improving our economies, we focus on things like investment, infrastructure, technology, right? These are all very important things. But here's the thing. None of that works without strong leadership, right? None of it matters without strong leaders. So let's break that down. I want to break it down in just 4 key ways that leadership development directly impacts that economic growth. Number 1, better leadership builds stronger businesses. We all know that great businesses don't just happen overnight, and they don't just happen by happenstance. They're built by strong, capable leaders who know how to make good decisions and also manage people effectively. When business owners and managers develop their leadership skills, they run those businesses more efficiently. They make smarter financial and strategic decisions, build stronger teams, which in then turn creates more jobs. And obviously more jobs help us all. Number 2, leadership drives innovation. You know, we all think about innovation. It's not just technology, right? It's not just technology. It's about people who think outside the box, challenging the ways things have always been done. Nothing drives me crazy than when you ask somebody why we do something one way and they say, well, that's just how we've always done it. Okay, good leaders challenge the status quo. Great leaders, they know how to adapt to change in an ever-changing world, right? It seems like every day the conditions are different. I'm guessing that's the case in most of your roles within your respective organizations. They find creative solutions to those tough problems and encourage their teams to take smart risks. Risks are great, right? You don't want to take risks very often, but when you do, you want them to be smart. Good leadership provides that. When businesses and organizations embrace this leadership development, they create an environment where that innovation thrives. And that is what keeps local industries competitive. Number 3, strong leaders. They strengthen communities. It's why we exist at Schaefer Leadership Academy. Economic development, it's not just about businesses. We all know that. Okay? It's also about the entire community. Think about the local government leaders that are making policies that support business growth. Think about nonprofits that are working every day to develop the workforce and provide resources, educational institutions and the like. Educators, think about them who are educating the next generation of workers. When leaders in all of these areas and other areas, when they step up, it creates a place where businesses want to invest. It creates an environment where people want to live and to work. And again, communities thrive under this leadership. Number 4, and the list could go on and on. I could stand here for days talking about the importance, but I wanted to be very succinct today. Number 4, the leadership creates a more skilled workforce. You know, I served time on Muncie City Council and was involved on several committees, and we always talked about vacant jobs, open jobs, right? It's not just about having the jobs in your community. It's really about having the people who are there to fill them and ready to fill them. Leadership training helps employees at every single level to take initiative, solve problems on their own, and work better as a part of the team. And they take those skills that they learn through leadership development on to the next position, the next, and the next. Okay, so obviously very important. When employees, when they feel empowered and capable at their jobs, businesses succeed. And when businesses succeed, again, our communities grow stronger. So what does that mean for all of you, right? Why am I here today? Why am I talking to all of you about this? Well, Schaefer Leadership Academy, and I actually came today with a little bit of an offer, okay? We want to help bring more leadership training directly to your communities. We're doing work in many of I think all of the communities represented here today and the folks that aren't here. We're regional, we're statewide, and we've even done some work recently outside of the state. We work in Ohio, we work in Wisconsin, we work in Oklahoma, we work in Pennsylvania. So we're everywhere where leadership development is needed and where we're invited to come. So what I'm here to do today is I want to start by offering Fusion, leading multi-generational teams, for free to any of your communities who would want it. Okay, now Fusion Leading Multi-Generational Teams is a half-day workshop. It is our most meaningful, it's our most popular, and our most impactful program that we offer. Whenever anyone sees this program and experiences this program, they love it and ask us to bring it to their organization. So there's a little bit of selfish ask here, because we want to bring this to your community to introduce our programming at Schaefer Leadership Academy to the different counties, those folks who haven't met us yet. Now, this program, Fusion, Leading Multi-Generational Teams, this program really helps teams navigate generational differences in the workplace, something every business and organization, I'm sure all of us, have dealt with. You know, when you have baby boomers, Gen X, millennials, Gen Z, when we're all working in the same space, it can get frustrating because we all in different generations approach work differently. It's because of the way we were raised. These are generational differences. Fusion helps bridge the gaps between these generations. It improves workplace communication and builds stronger more effective teams. And I want to show you just a small video. And I think, should I share this first? Sharing is not turned on. Who's that? Can they pick it up on the owl if I show it, I'm sure? Okay. Great. This is going to do a heck of a lot better job of it. I want you to see this. It's such a great program. It's a game board. You sit around with a group around a table and play a game. Super great. And let's do no sound.
Hi, my name is Mitch. I'm executive director and I'm excited. And I'm excited.
There we go. All right.
Hi, my name is Mitch Isaacs. I'm an executive director for Schaefer Leadership Academy, and I'm excited to talk to you about Fusion. And I'm excited to talk about it because Fusion really is an experience. It isn't a presentation. Odds are you have some experience with a generational differences presentation. Maybe you've heard a speaker, you've seen something online, you've listened to a podcast, read an article, and gotten really great information out of that. What makes our program different is it's an interactive experience. It's an interactive opportunity by using our proprietary game board to learn more about this material in a way that not only are you going to remember, but you're going to better connect with the participants in the room. And so it's a chance to experience other people's perspective. It's a chance to experience a level of connection you typically don't get in this kind of program. It's a chance to experience a type of learning that makes what you're going to gain more memorable and ultimately more useful. I think oftentimes when people come to learning spaces and they find out they're going to participate in a multi-hour program, they're afraid they're going to be bored. And Fusion is not boring. It's interactive. It's interesting. It gives people a chance to connect with each other and connect with the material. I think the other thing that makes Fusion unique is the way that we experience this. Using a game is disarming. Fusion's a great program for chambers because chambers work with a broad range of businesses. Chamber members can be anything from that one-person sole proprietorship to the largest employers in their community. When you work with employers and community organizations that vary in size and type, it means they face some real challenges. And one of those challenges that I think every type of employer or organization faces is generational differences. And so working with chambers on the Fusion program has been a huge success because it's something that connects to what almost all of their members need. Chambers are there to help businesses thrive and work through those challenges, and we're here to help chambers do it.
Now I realize that was geared more towards chambers, but forget that fact and let's just use it for the content that it is. We've been doing this a lot. As I mentioned earlier, working around the state, we're partnering with a lot of chambers of commerce and executing this program. And again, it's one of our most popular, it's one of our most sought after programs. And we are more than happy to bring this to any of your communities at no charge. Obviously, we would need a little bit of help. We're not as connected in your communities as you are. So we would need some help kind of laying the groundwork, getting connected to some of those folks, and helping to invite some of those people to come. But I'm telling you, this is a phenomenal program. If it is something that you're interested in, at least exploring a little bit. The one thing I forgot today was business cards. But what I'm going to do is, Michelle, if it's okay, I'm going to send you an email today with the link to this site. This also gives you all the information of Fusion. If you just want to bring it for your organization, we can talk about that as well. I'm going to also give my contact information. Again, if this is something you're interested in, let's talk. No obligation, and we will do whatever we can to make it a success, working in collaboration with you and your organizations. And again, I can't thank you enough for a little bit of your time. And Bill, thank you very much, and appreciate everything you guys all do. Thanks.
Thank you, Jeff.
Anybody have any questions right now for Jeff at this time? Give you a chance. Okay.
I just did that good job explaining everything.
There you go.
Yeah.
Former councilman just really getting it out. There you go.
I am a graduate of Schaefer Leadership Academy. Are you really?
There you
Yeah,
go.
my factory, it was a wonderful program, so.
We got a question, Jeff?
I have a question.
Yeah, please.
You said multi-hour, how long are those typically? And then I know that you said that one was the Chamber of Commerce. Could you give like some other examples of different types of groups that have went through that?
Yeah, so with Fusion, I mean, we've done it for manufacturing facilities, we've done it for credit unions, we've done it for a wide variety of folks. That one is it's a 3 hour. 3 hours is what we typically do. It's recommended the full day. The first half of the day is really playing the game board and going through all the different generations. And then the second half of it, if someone chooses to do that, really goes over a lot of case studies and really takes a deeper dive into each generation. In addition to this, our programs really vary. We do 90-minute programs. We do, 2 hour, 3 hour, 5, just about anything really. But we try to break it up the best we can. We're working with organizations. We're doing a lot of work with a number of manufacturers. Tyson Foods is one of those where we're in there with them really every week starting in July. We're there with all 3 shifts. So it really just depends on the needs of the organization and what they're looking to get. But this one right here, about 3 hours.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
What's the ideal number of participants? Is there a range?
So for Fusion, the more the merrier, really. Minimum we could pull it off with 8 people. We want more than that. We've done it for as many as, we did it several years ago at a conference for a couple of 100 folks. Because the more, we try to get different generations around the game board. So the more folks you have, the better chances you have different generations in the room. So, as little as 6 or 8, but we like to do it for a lot more than that.
Okay. Thank you, Jeff.
All right, thanks, folks.
Anything else? Move on to you, Bill.
Okay, going into new business. I needed to update the board. Augusta Consulting, Brad Bookout, has been our consultant since 2009 with only 1 year out, 2010. Brad was recently elected to the county council and has decided not to renew his contract, keep himself on the physical, on the financial side of it. So at this time, I would come to the board. We have taken on quite a few interns. So I've closed some gaps out. So at this time, I think that unless the board sees different, we could proceed without a consultant at this time. If things do change and I need the assistance and the help to manage the grants or the programs, I'll come back to the board and advise properly from there, and then get your blessing one way or the other, if you see fit. So I don't see any reason to go on. I think we've pretty well covered it with the interns right now. Jay County Developer, I'd like to introduce you. I'm going to put her on the spot. I'm not going to ask her to talk. I'm just going to put her on the spot. Darlicia, would you please stand up? Darlicia Lee, I hired her for first of this month. Nate, who has been with me for the last 2 years, has been given a golden opportunity to move on in his family's business. And I don't blame him, as we say in here. If you have a chance to move up and move on, please do. He has, but we've been lucky and blessed to find Darlicia. She's been very active in Jay County. She's been there on the ground doing some. She's a business owner in Jay County. So I look forward to working with her and getting her encompassed in the community developer role in Jay County. As you guys know, a little over a year ago with the county commissioners in Jay County, we took on a community developer role over there and are helping them with some programs. One, the OOR, I'll get in a little bit more here, but also business retention and expansion and a few other little projects, grant writing as well. So welcome aboard, Darlicia.
Thank you.
Darlicia, what business do you own over there?
You're gonna put me on the spot.
You don't want to answer my thoughts. You have to
You're
be.
good, you're
Okay.
good. I actually have a visual media company and specialize in photography, videography. So just took on a new lunch with a business partner. So I'll still have my entity, but we're bringing our businesses together. Yeah, just been
Good
passionate.
things, good things. I know a lot of people take it.
What town?
I'm sorry.
What town is that in?
So I'm in Portland, but we're trying to face the actual entity in Dunkirk. So,
Yeah, definitely.
Well, good as well.
thank you.
Back to you, Bill.
Moving on, we're going to go to grant workshops. I'm going to ask Matthew and Anna if they might give a little synopsis of the grant workshop. Did you do that?
Yeah, we had it on January 16th and January 30th. It was a 2-day program. The first day we worked on constructing the actual grant proposals, and the second day we worked on the administrative side of it and pitching those proposals. And I know for me, I found it very beneficial. It was a partnership with Purdue Extension. They've been putting on the course for I think over 20 years, award-winning, and it showed. It was very helpful. I learned a lot. I know my colleagues that I was there with, they had also experienced some really great learning opportunities. The second day, they had brought in some grant reviewers, so they actually had some firsthand experience, and that was really helpful to have their insight on something that is kind of behind the books. You don't always get to see that up front. So I know I really enjoyed it.
Matthew, anything?
I mean, I think she nailed it. Yeah, it was incredibly helpful. It was awesome. Yeah, there was one, I believe the funder was from the 4-H Foundation, and there was actually a grant writer there that was a rather large grant writer. I believe she's done quite a bit of work. And they asked several questions for us. Yeah, overall it was great. I think you did a great job explaining it. Some amenities, so it was really cool actually. Each one of the attendants, and I think we're gonna hold more of these as well, yeah, Bill says. So please, if you guys wanna join, if you guys are ever looking to grant write yourselves for your companies or anything, they offered a free proposal review. There was also a foundation of directory online, some online database that had all of these foundations and all the things they funded. It's just this wonderful information database, and you get access to it for 2 free weeks as well. I believe it was for a year, $1,000 per user as well. You can share accounts. So some very cool information also they give you as well to use.
Just commenting, finishing up on that, there was 19 people that signed up from the class from 3 different counties. It was well attended. I've been in several myself. I thought it was pretty good. This opportunity was made available. We had received funding, grant funding from the Ball Brothers Foundation for grant writing, not only for the people on the ground, but to educate and to train, take to the next level. And as he said, we had reviewers in here, help writing narrative, understanding where to look for the funding and this and that. And a lot of the ones that were not part of our team are in a lot of the small towns that need the funding and don't know how to go get it. So we've seen a big outreach in small little areas, towns like Gaston, just small towns. It wasn't Muncie. It wasn't big Portland. It was little towns that most of your clerks and board members are trying to reach those grants. So you've seen the impact it made, and it was really interesting. And I think Purdue did a very good job with that one. So we're looking to do this again. We do have funding. We haven't exhausted that funding, and we're looking at doing this again in the fall, and more towards the Jay County side over there and get to the far east side of the state and get over to the far east side of our region and pick that up over there as well. Next is the Merchant McIntyre contract. A lot of you are new. We have had a contract with a firm in Washington, D.C. named Merchant McIntyre. Some of the people here have been introduced to them. They are kind of I don't want to call them a lobbyist or a grant writer. It's kind of a mixture of both. They get us into the agencies. They help us on the ground. They know where the funding, the money's available, where the holes are, where the agencies want to see grants coming in. Also, when we plan our trips to Washington, D.C. yearly, they set the itinerary, they set the meetings up at each of the agencies. It runs like clockwork. I think Shannon's been on more than a few of them. He can tell you from the time we get to the time we leave, it's only 3 days, but you're going to be busy for 3 days, and you're going to have very little time to relax because we bounce from one to the other. A driver there, we get in, and these meetings are important, and it's not just a field trip. We're giving updates to agencies on the grants that we currently have, the grants that we are going after, And then we're also getting support letters and recommendations from these officials why we were there. We use every single minute of it. So with that, the Delaware County Commissioners have been very generous to us over the years. And I was asked to reach out to the other counties. We pulled in a lot of money, and I have. And Grant County, I've talked to those commissioners over there. They are willing to participate in our contract moving into the future and going in for another year in 2025, 2026. I have conversations with Jay yet to happen, and I will get back to the board on that, but it is something that we've done, and I just wanted to make it known that we haven't done all of this on our own, and the ones that have taken the Washington trip, you know what I'm talking about. You've seen these individuals and how important they are to us on that level to get into these meetings and into these halls on a timely basis. So if you have any questions, please see me on that. If not, you will see me in some of your meetings or see me with some of your commissioners and mayors having these conversations. Mayor Ridenour has been a supporter of this in the past, along with the Delaware County Commissioners. So we're just trying to spread it out. We're all using it. The grant report I'll go over, that funding, even from Delaware, they are our biggest county in the region, and but those grants are regional grants all over except for one out of the 6 grants that we currently have. So they're for all 4 counties. EPA grant. Year and a half ago, we were awarded $500,000 for EPA, our 3rd EPA grant that put it at $1.7 million. We have until October of this year. I'm happy to say we just got a meeting this morning. We are down to $24,500 left of that grant. We have done a real good job of spending the money. Our EJ steering committee, which I'll report more on, but we have in November, December last year, we got the grant done on time. It is in. We heard this morning, it will go up for review this month, and we should have an answer in May. May they should be going out. I know we're all hearing a lot of stuff about DC and the changes. There's certain programs that we're going to have certain ones that are moving on. This is one that is still moving on. This is on assessments, phase 1, phase 2, and cleanups to clean liabilities from brownfield sites so we can get them developed. This is a major program for the federal government. We're not talking the revolving loan, site cleanup plans. Now we're still talking phase 1, phase 2, so we can release the liability. So when somebody can buy that liability stays attached to the previous owners, so they can move forward if we can get the proper documentation from IDEM of no further action or restricted actions on those properties, so that we can bring development there and get it back on the tax rolls and start producing for the county and for the city. Old business. In your file, you'll see, this is going to take a little bit. So in your file, you'll see the ECI update by the end of the year. This here kind of gives you a synopsis of where we are and where we're headed right now for 2025. As you can see on there, there are 6 grants on the page. I'll go down these quite quickly. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to stop me and ask or get me at the end of it. But out of these 6 grants, the top 2 are EDA. First one is EDA Resiliency. We were awarded back in 21. This grant came to a close at the end of last month. This is the one where you've seen there's been interns out in all the region working in different departments, different areas, elected officials, mayor's office, transportation. These interns were given to us through the Resiliency Grant to address areas of COVID and setbacks and trying to help the community or the elected officials bring things back up to speed and go from there. So they've done research papers, they've helped close doors, they've taken on meetings for individuals to free up time, projects, whatever was needed. In the course of the 3 years that this grant went on, we went through 42 interns from Ball State University, from Purdue, and from Middle Tennessee State. We had one. So I love that one. It came from nowhere. But we did, and seeing that, most of them were, in their last year or going into their master's. So some of them we only got a year, 6 months, maybe a year and a half. I was blessed with a few others to get a couple more years. They graduated and we brought them on full time with ECI. So it was a great program. I'm hoping to continue it. To touch on it, we have put in another grant with the Ball Brothers Foundation right now for 4 interns to keep that program going because of the benefits we've seen in it. The outreach as far as the small towns, Jay County for one, Salamone, Bryant, Penville, that's never been brought to the conversation, pulling those in, Swayze, Sweetser, in Grant County. I mean, there's just little areas and pockets. Matthews, yep, that we can bring these areas into that haven't had a voice at the table and are not getting the information. So we're trying to get the outreach even more. So, and we're finding more and more projects in there and more that we can do. The EDA Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy, that one is going to wrap up at the end of May. All of the engagements have been done. Everything that was with Ball State and Purdue. This is the Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy, which is the 5-year plan for the entire region through all 4 counties. Why is this important? Every grant that you go after, they want to know what you have done, what homework you have done. The SEDS goes into that. It takes in community involvement along with the elected officials. It gives us points on grants. It gives people in Washington, D.C. and other places that don't know us, don't know you. Did you do any homework? Am I just financing your project, or have you done things in here? What is your plan going on for the next 5 years? And how does it go together? They want to know that we have thought these projects out and that we're just not chasing money just to say we want a grant, we need money. They want to see a win and an outcome at the end of the program. So the SEDS is the first step in laying out what those projects will be that we'll be addressing over the next 5 years. Now that doesn't mean once we finish that, this is it. The SEDS can be updated on a regular basis. If something changes and a direction changes where an elected official or a community wants to go in a different direction, we just need to be notified of that through your representatives here. We will update the SEDS and get that forward to the EDA and make the amendments to the book. So changes do happen. It can happen. No one can see so far out that 5 years, but our idea, our goal is to give a vision and a picture of where we hope to be in 5 years and how we plan on getting there. So hopefully, not hopefully, we will be wrapped up by the end of May. We are down to just the data gathering and the public engagement, picking out the clusters, combining it, and at the May meeting, before the May meeting, you will all see a copy of this. You will get it for your comment, for your participation to look it over. And then I'm hoping to look for ratification in our May 11th meeting. We will also have Annie Cruz-Porter from Purdue, and we will have Jeff Shoemaker from DSU here if you have any questions or concerns. That way we can get this wrapped up. The last thing that this is important for is once this is complete, this is ECI's 4th SEDS, my 3rd since I took the seat. We have never went a step further, which is an EDD, Economic Development District. This is important for the regional programs and the RPO and the MPO. Why is that? Currently, there is a limited number of them, and they don't hand these out real lightly. You have to really get in there. But right now, there's a $70,000 a year funding that comes from EDA on this. I don't know it for a fact, but I've been told that there's a request in to take that funding from $70,000 to $200,000 a year because this is a limited edition. We do things for them that they need, red notices, traffic counts, other things that come up from the EDA that they need to get feedback for to get to their next grant or the next NOFO or whatever project or program they have coming out. Since we've been through this, we have had our meeting with Michelle Vasquez at EDA. She has set the table for us to go down that road once we complete the SEDS. So that is the outcome of this next SEDS. It's not just for a 5-year vision, but to possibly get ECIRPD designated as an EDD for this region. And that would be significant income, which would mean increase in staff, and so we can bring in more information and get more things brought together under one umbrella. The next one is Department of Transportation, SS4A. That is the Safer Streets for All. We are really just now getting started on that. When I say started, the teams are getting to come together. You know what, Kylie, I've talked too. You go ahead and talk. You tell about this one. You're in this one too, so I'll let you have this.
And then I'll let Matthew talk.
There you go. Wonderful.
So last week we had our kickoff meeting with American Structure Point, which is the consultant on this project. For those of you that are new, the SS4A, the end result is going to be a regional transportation safety action plan. So that will then allow us and the other areas to kind of seek some funding for implementation of some of those things that they found needed attention in the safety action plan. So last week was our kickoff meeting. So we're just kind of getting started. We have notice to proceed now. We've got our list of to-dos, and they've got their list of to-dos, and we're going to be we meet up every 2 weeks to kind of as a group to go over where we are and what we need to do. Jacob Thomas, who's not here, and then Matthew, who is here, they're both working on this project out of Bill's office and out of my office, and they've been working hard on this. So I'll let Matthew maybe tell you a little bit about what he's been doing this past week or two.
Yeah, sure. We've actually been going at it for, I'd say easily about a month now too. Bill really wanted us to make sure and get a head start on this. We have been in the database ARIES, which is a national roadway crash database. It gives you just about anything you want to look up into it, a very valuable resource. So we have been creating an Excel spreadsheet that has just massive amounts of data on it, broken down several different ways from regions to months to dates, and even what kind of crashes, like school buses or pedestrians walking. As she said, we just had our kickoff meeting, so there's a little bit of a laundry list right now. I've been gathering comprehensive documents, all the ordinances, subdivision ordinances, just a laundry list of stuff pretty much right now. But yes, we are hitting it high and hard, and we're excited for this one.
Yeah, and one of our main goals right now is to increase and kind of solidify our stakeholder list. So we're trying to reach out to anyone and everyone we can in the 4 counties that are stakeholders, that are invested, that are, work with agencies and concerned about the safety in their areas. So we're trying to get as many contacts as we can on that stakeholder list, reach out to them, make sure they know what we're doing and that we want them to be involved. And then also Matthew and Jacob are working on I'm going to call it your road show from here on out, but a little presentation as to what SS4A is, who we are, and what we need from these communities that we're reaching out to, as well as what they're going to get from this. So that's kind of where we are.
Yeah, Jacob's done a lot of that contact list. He has gathered, I think, almost 100 contacts from all the council members of the 4 counties, the commissioners, highway department, street department people, EMS, any type of safety people that are actually involved and invested as well, relative stakeholders.
Yeah, like when we were at the SEDS, me and Jacob we did that at the SEDS too, and I was working with Jacob on that last year.
Good. Cool. Yeah. Well, one of the things, just to touch on this, and I'll jump a little bit, is you see here we are working, this is the MPO and the RPO working together. I've mentioned it a couple times late for you new members. There's 16 of our organizations in the state, like ECI is. And the state wants to get, I think there's only 7 counties that are not in a regional planning organization. They want to get us all in there, but they want us to team up with the MPO. Why is that important? Now you're bringing the MPO and the RPO together. Kylene being the MPO here, the MPO keeps track of a lot of data and all the information. If we can use that from 4 counties, if we can get Grant, or Blackford, and Jay going, and we help gather their information, keep it in the system, all of it. When the elected officials change, or when we've done something, be it a transportation plan or another one, and we have a copy of that, we're not reinventing the wheel and spending thousands of dollars that we've already spent. It could possibly be updated for a lot less cheaper. We're not wasting money. And you've got the RPO and the MPO working together. The MPO has a lot more tools than the RPOs do. So the state has asked us, wherever the possibility is to join an MPO and an RPO. I spoke with the Delaware County Commissioners about a year ago, started this conversation when it came from the state. I've been working with Kylene ever since she's taken the role in there. I'm telling you, from the first start, we've been in about 3 months. I kind of like what we're doing. We're getting information and resources and saving time for each other, and we're getting things done. I see it only getting better as we move forward here, and the elected officials understand the players at the table change every 2 to 4 years. This information won't change. It'll be locked up. It'll be in databases and computers and on the shelf where they can just reach out and get it instead of recreating the book or spending $40 or $50 or $100,000 to get a report we just did a year ago or 2 years ago that could just be updated that they don't even know about. So I'm getting a look over there. No, it wasn't you. It was the one next to you.
You guys don't want to do that. We're happy to recreate that one.
I know you are. I can see the look from an engineering going, okay, you're taking money out of it. No, we're just trying to get the best use of the taxpayer's dollar and keep it on file so that we can use that at a later date. So that's the importance of the NPO and RPO coming together and working as a team across the regions that we have developed. You see this in Indianapolis. You see it in the Fort Wayne area already, down around Columbus. This system is working, and we need to keep fostering this and working with it until we can get it done here.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
This study, will it affect change, like they'll target areas that maybe are unsafe or need something done, and then will NDOT step in and like?
This is the planning stage of the grant. The ideal is, the end of it is to get to 0 traffic deaths. We are going to identify where all of those areas are, and then we're going to prioritize in each county what those areas that need to be addressed. And then once that is done, there is implementation dollars on the backside. There's another, after we get done with this, we will go after federal dollars through the Department of Transportation with participation at the local level where we can to get these areas addressed.
Okay, thank you.
Randy, I can touch on that as well. I believe we have about 20 projects we're gonna identify, and then of the top 4, that's what we'll do. So we've got 20 that we're gonna look at through the 4 counties.
Thank you.
Moving on, next you'll see USDA Best Grant 5. We're wrapping that up. That is the Business Entrepreneur Service and Technical Assistance. This is where we help new people that want to go into business with their performers, with counseling, and where to go. We've worked in partnership with Ted on this, Baker at the Innovation Connector, and with SBDC in the back for funding and other sources. This is a great deal, a tool that we've had. Well, we've got 6 is right underneath us, so you can put 5 and 6 together. We've gotten 6 of these in a row, year after year, because we have helped so many different businesses, be it the small one, mom and pop. We've done burger shops and ice cream shops in places, to large ones such as Inox. We've helped at that level, at the $20, $30 million level. This is a program, USDA is looking for jobs, looking for new opportunities to go out there. We've done really good with a great outreach here. Ted does a real good job in here. I really see a lot during Business Services Week that he does in November when all the classes are going on in here. This place is packed for a full week. But in between, whatever we see on the road or anybody, I talk to a lot of mayors, commissioners. If you have somebody that says, hey, I'm interested in starting a business, but they don't know how, they don't know where to get started, what the first step is, I'm the first step. Give me a call. I can get them set up with Ted. That service is paid for 100% from the USDA out of our grant funds. So this is something, I don't care which small town, large town, it doesn't matter. You've got a business, it's someone that's looking to go into business and doesn't know what to do or how to start it, have them see us. We'll get them started on that path, and we'll help them in every way. Like I said, from a performance plan, clear through funding if we can, and counseling along the way. And it doesn't have to be a new business. It can be a struggling business. If there's a business out there that needs a new set of eyes on it, they're not sure what to do. We have teams that will look at that if they'll allow them to come in and counsel them and sit down, look at the books, look at what's going on, and put a different set of eyes on it and give them some options and suggestions that might turn things around and get them going in the right direction. So please, we're on 6. I'm putting in number 7 as we speak. It's being written. It's been a great program. We've gotten out of that 6 years, I think we're at $550-some thousand that we've received from USDA to do that service. So, and it is regional wide, all the way across. Everything that we talked about so far has been regional. The only one that is not regional is the last one on here, and it is the EPA Brownfield Grant. We were awarded $500,000 on it in 22. As I said earlier, we are down to about $24,000 in that grant. We have done over 20 phase 1 reports, 5 phase 2 reports, 2 asbestos assessment reports, 22 permanent jobs are left, and leveraged $280,000 for cleanups, largely from the Indiana Brownfield program. Now that's not redevelopment. We're almost close to $30 million on these properties of redevelopment. That $280,000 is from Indiana Brownfield, where they have helped us take care of sites out of the POSI or ELF fund. POSI is petroleum spills, ELF fund is tanks in the ground. If we had access to property or knew where some of these existed, they had some extra funds and would call and ask us if we had access to the site, and they would take care of those things 100%. Dig the tanks up, take them out, replace the soil, give the no further action or a comfort letter so that we could sell the property. The liability's been released, the whole 9 yards. So this is a great program. We did put a grant in November. We'll know in May coming out whether we will get that grant, but they are very impressed. We got 7 months to go, and we are right now. We might have enough to do 4 or 5 phase 1s left, or maybe 1 phase 2 if we don't have to get too deep. If we're just doing water samples, we might be able to get that done. But if we have to go soil boring, core borings, we're not going to be able to do a phase 2, but we can still do some phase 1. And I'd love to have this thing as close to zero as we can get it. That shows them that we can spend the money, and not only just spend the money, but the properties that we're clearing up, taking care of, getting back on the tax rolls, relieving the liability so developers can move forward. So hopefully we'll be able to take that project, or we'll get another round on that. Yes, sir.
What's the difference between phase 1 and phase 2?
Phase 1 is more of a what's in the filing cabinet, and has there been anything on the site over the years that would have possibly contaminated. It's a record of the site through history, through documents. And it was just a convenience store with no gas stations. Never been a gas station on it. Mom and pop, soul pops, maybe some food. There's not a whole lot of reason to worry there. But if it was a gas station or a dry cleaner's facility or a garage where repairs were done, there could be petroleum done there. Once the phase 1 is done, there may be a request to take it to the phase 2, which then soil borings, core borings, water wells, monitoring wells could be put in under a phase 2 to see if there's any contamination under there. Once it's identified, is it moving or leaving the property? Is it contained? Do we need to clean it up further? That's what a phase 2 does.
Easy way to look at it is desktop review versus site review.
There you go.
Awesome.
Good. Shorter. Sorry, thanks. That's exactly right. Desktop and then digging in. He's spot on. It gets a little deeper.
All right, thank you very much.
5-time fisher, guy. Okay. The next one on the deal, OCRA, OOR program. This is a grant that we're helping administering in Jay County. It's owner-occupied rehab. It was $1 million that was given to them. They used their ARP money and bought some ground and qualified for the help. So they were awarded $1 million. Nate has been on the ground since this project started up there. We're well into it. We're through round 2, getting ready to go to round 3. Contractors, radon testing. We work in coordination with Mike Kleinpeter of Kleinpeter and Associates. He is doing the paperwork and administration with OCRA. We are running the ground game with the commissioners and the contractors. We're tag teaming this at 2 different levels, keeping it moving. We had over 100 applications. We're not going to get everybody in. I mean, they awarded up to $25,000 a home. Doesn't mean we'll spend $25,000 on every home. Not every home needs that. I'm hoping we'll get somewhere around that 60 mark, give or take. Nate's over there shaking his head. Yeah, it depends on where the cost comes in. But we have all of our contractors now, I think except for one. Electrical's been identified. Radon testing's been done. And Aegis is our engineer that is reviewing like HVAC, roofs, ADA ramps, making sure that we're addressing the proper things at each of the OOR homes that we need to. If you're not familiar with this project, it's out of the Lieutenant Governor's office. Usually they do between $350,000 and $400,000, and it's usually a targeted area This is a county-wide grant. It is the first time they've ever done one at a county, done one at $1 million. So far, so good. Things are running smooth. I think Okra is happy. We have had to switch over now from a governor, from one lieutenant going out to another one coming in. So I haven't had a conversation with them, but through our liaison, they seem pretty happy. Through Mike and his conversations with Okra, they are more than pleased with where we're at this point. I think our wrap-up date is the end of August 25.
August or September.
It's August or September of 25, and we are right on track to complete that on a timely manner. Next, I am going to let Autumn give you an update. Autumn is our broadband specialist. She has been with us for 2 years. Her sole and only job is broadband and digital, and I will let her give you an update of where we are right now.
All right, hi everyone. I'm also part of a super kind of complex program called the American Connection Corps. I'm also an AmeriCorps member, so that kind of gives me other duties outside of ECI. But what I will say, what I've been focusing on at the beginning of this year is furthering my education. I went to that grant writing course and it was absolutely great. I feel like I could do a lot more work because of it. I've also been learning a lot more about broadband, and I'm planning on how to make my current programs more sustainable for after my term. My term ends about late July. So with that, I also have BEAD updates. For anyone who doesn't know, BEAD stands for the Broadband Equity, Access, and Deployment Program. And it's a high capacity internet grant program that works through, states get money, they give them to internet service providers who go out into these areas that are unserved or underserved. So luckily, the Indiana Broadband Office has finalized these locations, these BEAD eligible locations. And although I'm working on getting a license to give us more information on all 4 counties, I would happily say that Jay County has a total of 500 BEAD locations. So 67 underserved, 433 unserved. And that went way above our expectations. We estimated about 184 locations to be unserved or underserved. What this means is now that we can use state and federal funding for those locations to get residents affordable, reliable internet service. And for any locations that BEAD has missed, I'm looking for other broadband opportunities through OKRA, USDA, and other entities. And I'm also working on Jay County, Ritter Strategic Services, another internet provider, and some other partners on creating and exploring a broadband radio solution. So we want to find a cost-effective solution that is both reliable and accessible, reaching not just first responders, but utilities, highway, and other municipal services. The commissioners voted yesterday to look at other options and get more information on different solutions. I also teach computer classes. I host these in any public computer lab that's willing to take my services. I teach residents basic computer skills to enhance their foundational skills, and my goal is to offer public computer classes in every county in our region. And if this is not attainable, I would at least like to aim to create a public computer lab in community anchor institutions such as libraries and community resource centers. So far I partner with Eastern Indiana Works. In Muncie, I'm making bi-weekly computer skills classes, and this class has been very successful. It averages about 10 people per class. These services are completely free and accessible to the public. I also partner with Marion Public Library in Marion, and I'm working on making these monthly classes, so recurring. Our pilot program in November was very successful and with full seats all around, so I'm hoping to continue this. And I'm currently working in Jay County with Jay County Public Library on creating a public computer lab and computer skills classes. And I'm going to be working with all 3 partners to make these computer classes after my term ends sustainable and ongoing. And yeah, I'm also going to be partnering with Allison Keene at Purdue Extension and 4-H in Jay County on helping her with her programming and volunteer services.
Question, where are you teaching the classes at here in Muncie?
Eastern Indiana Works. It's kind of near PetSmart. I don't know. Yeah. PetSmart. It's kind of Well, it's Work One, Eastern Indiana Works. I
Okay.
think,
I know exactly where you're at.
yeah. The issue is I go off of landmarks, not roads.
So is everybody else, don't worry about it.
Somebody not from Muncie. Turn it Walmart. Thank you, Autumn. Going next, I'm going to go CCMG, and Angie, would you like to give us an update on the current CCMG program?
I'm Angie Moore, I was late to the meeting, so I apologize. So the new ones, if you're not familiar with CCMG, that is state funding, CCMG is short for Community Crossing Matching Grant Funds. And depending on your population size, you're eligible to up to a 50% match or 75% match. So the smaller communities like Albany, Selma, Yellowville, that stretches your dollars quite a bit.
Oh, yes.
These are for road projects, bridge projects, culvert projects. Since our last quarterly meeting, we've assisted 3 communities in closing out their projects, because you have to complete your projects within 18 months of award, or you cannot apply again. So 2 calls a year. We assisted 3 communities in Jay County being actually eligible now to apply this year. They did not have asset management plans. And then we're helping 2 communities with bidding some projects. Some people need more assistance than others, but we're here to help in any way we can. And if anyone has any questions, just please give me a call, I'm happy to help.
The CCMG has made a world of difference. It is, since 2016 when we started this, it has helped the regional communities raise more than $5,099,373. I stumbled on this at a roundtable in Hagerstown, out of all places. It wasn't even out of the legislation yet. I think it was a February or March roundtable. They were still in session, and they no more got done. And I hit the ground with it, made a template. In the second year, teamed up with Angie, and we started doing it across the table. With the CCMG and what we have done in ECI since 2009, we've taken in now just about, I'm talking dues that's come in and supported this organization, has been about $1.2 million. We have currently, you throw that together with the grants, we're at $13,899,373. We've almost been a 14-to-1 return on investment in ECI. We're multiplying the dollars and looking at the areas that need addressed within the 4 county communities, and we go after it. Understand grants, it's nice that they put a table out there that's grants, but what we need to know here more of anything is, where's your projects? What projects that need to be done in your area? What's key? What's the list of it? We back into grants. You don't tell me what you want to do this project and then go find me some money. It doesn't work that way. What I need to know is what your projects are. I don't need to know your top. I need to know about 5 of them. And then we're looking at the grants, and if an opportunity pops up that goes to one of them, and we can alleviate that funding for you or cut it down to 60 or 80% of it, then you can take that money and do one of the other projects. You can move it over. What we're trying to do is help you come up with other funds to increase your money inside your community. And whatever this board directs me and our staff and your staff to do as far as which grants you want to see us or what avenue you want to see us go down. We've been on this path for quite a long time. The grants with EDA, Department of Transportation is brand new. We hit that the first time. USDA, we've been right there, and EPA Brownfield, we have been there. Some of the things that the girls did know, out of the 3 grant writers, I mean, we got a grant from the Ball Brothers Foundation last year, I believe it was, but it was for grant writing and grant writing services. We have 3 pretty much full-time grant writers on staff now that are getting really good. And when I say that, these I call them kids because I'm an old man, but
We call you Dad.
I know. They do. Anyway, they're hitting these grants now for $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, and $5,000. but we've also had one hit a $500,000 grant. We are looking at different areas and they're learning from one end of the scale to the other. Grant writing is very difficult and you've got to have a thick skin because you're going to get told no more than you're going to get told yes. And it isn't about the next no, it's about the next grant. Once we finish, we're already moving to the next one, waiting on the reply on this one. So they have done a remarkable job. I took two brand new, Matthew and Anna went into the Ball Brothers Foundation. We just did another request in this round of operational. I believe it's for $67,000 for 4 interns for another year. We've seen what the resiliency grant did to federal funding, and we'd like to keep this going at the local level if we can because it has grew more projects and more opportunities coming out. And it's keeping these younger kids coming out of Ball State after they graduated their masters in the local area. They see this in planning. You can talk to them afterwards and go, we have a lot of fun in the office. There's a lot of camaraderie. I had one of the best meetings last Friday with these guys. They're grant writing and where they're at. They're locked and loaded. Norfolk Southern, $50,000 grant. They've given me so many lists of grants. I've got to slow them down a little bit and say, okay, let's focus. Here's where we're going on this and let's stay on this and let's learn through them as we move and not just jump all over the place. And like I said, we back grants into projects like the Norfolk Southern, their community grant for parks and for things that are needed in the community. They have a list of stuff and there's 2 or 3 counties that we got that their parks need upgraded. If I can alleviate the funding they're using in their parks from their general fund, that means they can move that money over and address it in something else. So we're looking at different ways to improve the community and at the local level so they can use their funds in another manner and get more done. So I'm really happy about that program. We'll see where we go with that, but it's been one of the better things going on as far as that. That kind of gives it up, Mr. President, as far as the update on the grants, and I believe you're to roundtable.
All right, thank you, Bill. This roundtable discussion. Does anybody got anything they want to talk about?
I was late, so
That's
I don't
fine.
know.
You have another job. I will cover for you there.
Thank you.
We covered both ends of the candle.
I'm trying. Bill, did you mention we to reschedule our last meeting?
I have not.
Of the year. Okay. So if you look at the bottom of your agendas, we list the dates of our upcoming meetings. We had to move the November 11th to the 12th due to Veterans Day. That was the only change. That's what the market calendar.
The 12th is a Wednesday, by the way.
Yep.
That'll be a Wednesday, yes.
Yeah. Do you need a point?
Oh, yes.
I was gonna say you had a list. Don't let me down here.
You have that. Do you have that list?
She's got it.
I know I need one from Shannon. We've already got that.
No, you don't. We've got. I know we have. If you, there's a lot of here. If you haven't got me your appointment letters, we need to get the appointment letters. That's by IC code. I have to copy those and put them in the system, and we have to show everybody that is appointed by a member and who they've been, what area they've been appointed from. If you haven't got them to us, please do. Or Angie will be sending you an email. I think there was a few that went out before the meeting. I hate to pass. It has to be done on a yearly basis. Just shoot them, take 5 minutes, fill them out, and shoot them back to us. We really do need those on file and need it up. When audit comes in, make sure the meeting was done, that I have my quorum, that I have all the appointed positions put in place by the IC 36-6 code. So if you would help me out on that, I'd greatly appreciate it.
So I have some blank forms if anyone wants to take the time to fill them out while you're here. Also, I'll make sure in the future to include in my meeting packets proxies. That if you cannot attend, if you could please fill one out and recommend who you'd like to vote for you. That would be very helpful too for Bill's audits. You
got something, Tracy?
No.
Oh, look like.
Just happy to be here.
Well, and I know I got some new ones. And I really want to reiterate. Please come see me or Michelle or Angie or bring it up in here. You guys are the board. You tell us what direction to go in. If you don't think we're going in the right path, if you picked up or you come up across something else, let us know. We can shift and go in many directions. We can't cover all the bases. We get pretty tied up in some of these grants. We're looking for new opportunities. We have a great affiliate member on staff. Not a lot are here today, but we do. We cross the full board, a gamut of affiliate members from architects, engineers, developers. So if there's something that you need to know or a question you're not sure what the answer is, please reach out to us here, bring it up in the meeting, give me a call. We'll be more than happy to help in any way we can. You're here because commissioners by resolution designated that this regional program was important. They pay the dues. We're here to work on your behalf. But we need to know what your projects are and the areas, and we need you to participate. ECI is not a magic wand and boom, going to be fixed. We're participating with you. I know they love that because I get that one. Yeah, we don't do that. We work together to solve problems, but I need to know what the problem is and what the issue is, and we'll help you find a solution. We'll dig deep, and I've got a pretty good group of people together now that can come up with the answers, and we reach out both nationally and locally to get things accomplished. We had a situation last week where something happened, a phone call down to the governor's office, then one went to Washington, D.C., and we shook a bush in Memphis, Tennessee, and we found what we were looking for. And it was very important. It was a manufacturer with a mold that had to get going on a product line that, it was a local business, a major local business that employed thousands of people. But this was an important project. It can be something as big as that or something as small as we've worked on passports for people to get out when they've been backed up against the wall, whatever it is. And there's a situation, if you don't know the answer, please give us a call and we'll see if we can help in any way, shape, or form. If we can't, I'll let you know that too.
Bill, on the back up against the wall, we have a question over here.
Oh, I just had something to say.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, I'm Erin. I work at Spotted Monkey Marketing. We do the marketing for the Regional Planning District. And we're always looking for social media content and content for the website. We put out blog posts and write up press releases and do videos. If anyone wants to be in a video, we like to keep our constituents updated. So if you guys have any projects or anything that you'd like to say, even just be in a video, introduce yourself, what's going on. So come see me. I'm going to be here after the meeting if you want to talk about anything.
I knew she wouldn't go the full distance. I'm going to tell her, I'll give her 2 names to go see. I said, go see Pete Peterson and Randy Dunning first.
I'm sorry you gave me so many names.
I said, they'll give you a short video of what they do and why they're here. I said, they're always happy to talk. I know Pete is. No, but it is. We would like to get, if you have a moment in between, we've got 4 meetings this year. If you've got a moment or can schedule something, we'd like to get your face out there on our webpage. If you haven't been to ECIRPD.org, I think you really need to take a look at it. Over the last 2 years, that page has blown up. We have so many projects and so much going on over the regional area. There's so much information on there. But we need to let we've got a lot of new faces. We'd like to let those people in the region know who those new faces are, who they can reach out to. Maybe someone close or counties working across the line, or someone in a different county that has the same job or responsibility that you do and just wants to have a phone call. We need to get that out there so everybody can reach out and have dialogue back and forth. So please. And Pete, I wouldn't put you guys, but if you got time, hey, she's available.
Or we can schedule something.
Anyone else? Anything to talk about? Well, I'd like to thank.
Oh, yeah, one.
It's more of a general question. So I know the federal funding freeze is on hold now and in legal limbo, but how significant of an impact would that have on ECI operations?
I've been through probably 3 conversations with program managers at some of these agencies and with the governor's office. I am seeing this is focused in one area and one other. Not political. This is more of the green money and the solar and wind and that aspect. The other projects that's been running on a regular basis, it doesn't seem to be affecting. We were given a pause that lasted less than 12 hours, and I was told, go. Don't worry. We didn't stop. I had already made the decision. We have a lot of affiliate members and donations that came in. I knew I had the money enough if I had to go 2 weeks to cover the payroll. I wasn't going to stop them. We've got things on a roll and communities are counting on us. We kept everything going. I don't see it affecting ECI that much. With that said, money is going to get tighter. I have learned what we're all accustomed to, 90-10, 80-20, that's gone. We're at 60-40 now. It's going to get tight. They're expecting more skin in the game. So the grants are going to get tougher. You're going to have more money on your end than what we've ever had to have before, but there's still going to be opportunities out there to help do some of these projects and get things done. But there is going to be a different change coming out of this next round of legislation that's going to come down. The grants are not going to be as generous as they have been, not in just this last administration, but the last 3 administrations. That 80-20, 90-10, from what I'm being told, is gone. The only one that is any different than that is EPA, revolving loan fund, and well, can't say that, but the assessment that we go for, that's 100%. There's no match in that. When we get 500,000 or 400, that's exactly what we get. There's money in there for training for the conferences, and then the rest of it goes to phase 1, phase 2, and cleanup assessment. That is the only one we do not currently have a match at. Now, the state, I have not heard. We do have a meeting. Is that tomorrow, Matthew?
Yes.
We have a meeting with the liaison for the 4 counties tomorrow to find out what we're going to be seeing out of the Lieutenant Governor's office and where Okra's going as far as their match and what they're going to do and what programs they're going to fund with their federal funding that's going down through there. Where's the buckets of money going to be? We're going to learn that out tomorrow. I expect there's going to be changes there because I expect the money coming into that bucket's going to be less. So I expect there's going to be changes there as well.
All right. Thank you very much.
You bet.
Thank you, Spencer, for addressing the elephant in the room, because that was gnawing at me and I didn't know whether to ask that or not.
I came in like that, that one right away.
Anyone else? Well, this time, before I adjourn, I would like to thank everybody for being here, for participating, for loving your communities. As we go together, we can help one another, learn from one another. By engaging, hopefully we can improve. So at this time, I'd like a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Shannon?
All
All in favor? Those opposed?
Folks, you're more than welcome to stick around. This room is not busy for anybody, so if you need to meet, please take time and let's have conversation.